Their wide receivers are playing well, even that piece of shit Hunter Renfrow.
Why is he a piece of shit?
He's just a scumbag. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you watched all the shit he did at Clemson, dude's a scumbag.
Okay. I didn't really pay attention to him in college.
Yeah.
He just looks hilarious in like team photos, like when they're like all shirtless and like he's got these dudes that are all ripped to shreds around him, like they're just like cut and huge, and then you just got like him with like his not quite a dad bod, but like, you know, he's got like the balding and like he just looks like a skinny, like short dude. And that's like, it's just so funny, the juxtaposition. And then he plays really well on the field. I don't know what his off the field stuff was, so I won't comment on that. But
it wasn't even off the field. He was a fucking scumbag piece of shit on the field.
Okay, but he gets murdered. He gets murdered in the NFL now. The teams just like blindside hit him a lot. I've seen some videos from Raiders fans, but he gets just tossed by dudes. Maybe they take advantage because he's small, but maybe when you're that small, you gotta play nasty. I don't know.
Maybe, but yeah. So I wouldn't say. I guess the best way to describe his physique is he's in shape. You know, he's not chiseled. He's certainly no DK Metcalf. But
right. But then he's standing at dudes that, you know, are looking like DK, you know, as far as body type.
In all fairness,
being shredded, not quite to DK's level. Let's be real; he's freaking ridiculous.
In all fairness, there are very few people in the NFL that won't look bad standing next to Josh Jacobs shirtless. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh man. But yeah, so Raiders 34-24. We get quick turnaround for Denver. They play the Browns tomorrow night. I'm excited to watch that game. Demetric Felton hopefully will get his first start. Dude was fun to watch in college. It's going to be fun to watch in the NFL. I hope.
Got him in Dynasty.
Could be wrong. But hopefully he's going to be fun to watch. All right, we're going to move on.
You got a solid eye, so I'm waiting. I always pay attention to who you're saying is going to be passing the eye test.
I am hopeful. He is small, so I don't know. But he was fun to watch in college, and he was very good, so I'm hoping that'll translate to the NFL. He's only like 5'9", 185 or something like that. So good luck, because you're facing Von Miller. But let's move on to the most frustrating game of the week, and that was Cowboys and Patriots. Cowboys did squeak out a win, which is good for all three of us here, because I want the Cowboys to win. You guys want the Patriots to lose.
Mm-hmm.
What's not good is the refs fucking suck.
Yeah, and that's been consistent through the season. The refs have been real bad, and it doesn't make sense that the NFL can't do something about this. They just refuse to, and it's so frustrating.
I'm not even going to come out and say that their penalty calls were necessarily bad, because they missed some shit on both sides. Anthony Brown definitely got some face mask on that fourth down play. So that definitely, or third down where the Patriots then had to punt. Definitely hands to the face. Drive should have been extended for the Patriots. Game should have been over at that point. But Dak was in. Literally 4/5 of his body were in the end zone.
Yeah.
How is that not a touchdown?
Seem to be screwing you guys over a solid amount this season.
It's the third time. They did it against the Buccaneers, against the against the Eagles, against the Panthers, and now against the Patriots. Like, what the fuck? He's clearly in. Clearly in.
Mm-hmm.
And, no. And then you put them in a situation where Dak fucking has to go over for them to say it was a touchdown. And I still think that fourth down was a touchdown as well. But it was so close, you have to stick with what was called on the field. I get it. It was a fumble. Mm-hmm. But it shouldn't have even been there because Dak was in on that third down play.
100%.
Also, though, Kellen Moore should have called a better play. They all knew Dak was going to be trying to run it in, have him take a one-step drop turn, hit Blake Jarwin in the end zone. That was bad play calling. Bad play calling all game. Running up the middle, clearly not working. Pollard having success going off tackle. Why are we still running up the middle? It doesn't make sense. And then, not to mention, Cedric Wilson, big 44-yard catch to get you down inside the 5, and Tyron Smith with an illegal hands to the face. Tyron Smith with 2 other holding penalties. Connor Williams just being terrible at his job. Tyler Biadasz just being terrible at his job. What the fuck is this offensive line doing? And then, Pro Football Focus has the audacity to say they're the best offensive line in the NFL. Are you watching them?
You're watching them and you're critiquing them, but I'm telling you, they are definitely one of the better ones. Even though they make mistakes, offensive line play is, as I said, down across the NFL. You guys, even making your mistakes, have one of the best offensive lines. So imagine how bad everyone else's offensive line is.
I still disagree, even with you, because even with as bad as the rest of the NFL is with the offensive line, Dak would be murdered if he was less mobile. Murdered. In that first game of the season, Dak would have been murdered if Zeke.
Why the NFL is going to mobile quarterbacks, because you can't sit in a pocket anymore.
Yeah. If Dak was even 10% less mobile, he's getting killed in every game. If Zeke isn't there to help pick up Devin White, if he wasn't there to help pick up Vita Vea, Tampa kills them.
Impressive. It's why he's always going to be a step ahead of Pollard. And Pollard's good, but Zeke's blocking really sets him apart.
Dude, he wasn't always a great blocker. He's always been good. But his blocking, in the last 2 years, it's been insane. But I just want to talk about how bad PFF is for a second. They had Connor McGovern as the second best guard in the NFL. Dude played one fucking game at guard. One game. And up until last week, had him as the number 2 guard in the entire NFL. What the fuck?
Let's go!
Oh, man. Anyways, Cowboys offensive line.
I got the Knicks on in the background, baby. Yeah. You know I can't help myself.
Cowboys offensive line is really struggling. They struggled to get any run game going. The Cowboys' biggest weakness is run defense, and it has been for 3 years. And I think part of that, their run defense did look a little bit better in the beginning of the season, but Jalen Smith was a good tackler, and Trevon Diggs just has no interest in tackling at all. I don't know if
he just wants to pick the ball off.
Did you watch the Cowboys-Patriots game?
No, I watched parts of it. It was on Red Zone, I think.
When
did they play?
4:25 they played. It was
on Red Zone, so I definitely watched a decent chunk of it.
It was the CBS game. That's what was shown on CBS in the area.
But I watched when they were in the Red Zone, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was just, there was one, Ramondre Stevenson, who's not a very good running back, first of all.
I think he's got potential.
He's got potential.
I think he's possibly better than Harris. I don't know if he'll ever be one of the best in the league or anything, but I think he's solid.
But he broke off a run, got down the sideline, Diggs got to him, and instead of trying to tackle him, he's running with him trying to rip the ball out of his arm. He took him for
you gotta just make the tackle. I get wanting to go for the turnover, especially because he's had so many picks and a couple of pick sixes that he's hype about trying to get the turnover. You gotta just make the tackle sometimes. You gotta play boring football sometimes.
And you can even go for the football as you're coming up on him. Try and fucking punch it out as you're laying into him and hitting him out of bounds. Fucking hit. You're not a wide receiver anymore. Your job isn't to get the ball necessarily. Your job is to stop others from getting the ball. And when they get the ball, stop them from scoring. So he needs to play to tackle more than he does. And it's really frustrating. But he's now got 7 interceptions in 6 games. So who am I to sit here and fucking tell him what to do, you know? Anyways, 35-29 Dak with a monster 36 completions for 445 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mac Jones with a very solid 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not a bad game for a rookie. Funny, Kendrick Bourne was the leading receiver with 1 catch for the Patriots. That 1 catch was a 75-yard touchdown, but it was 1 catch. CD Lamb, 9 catches, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 17 carries for 69 yards. Damian Harris, 18 carries for 101 yards. Cowboys played a very bad game and still somehow won. Because the defense can create turnovers and Dak can make magic. I don't understand how... I know the offensive line on paper looks bad. They look like they're overachieving. They're really not. The offensive line is a detriment and is hurting because they might not be giving up the sacks, but they are taking away touchdowns. They're taking away big plays. 115 penalty yards against the Patriots. And that wasn't even the refs calling bullshit penalties. Those were all legit penalties. Every single one. They're shooting themselves in the foot. The offensive line needs to step up. I swear to God, when La'el Collins comes back on Halloween, they need to move Terrence Steele, move him to left tackle, keep Terrence Steele at right tackle, get Connor Williams off the fucking field, move Tyron Smith to left guard, and hope that Tyler Biadasz can fucking fix his problems. Because Connor Williams sucks. He sucks. Anthony Brown sucks. Anthony Brown is awful. Somehow, Cowboys still came away with a win. We're going to move on unless you guys have anything more to say.
Screw the Pats.
Yep. Now we're going to move on to Steelers-Seahawks. Very good game. I stayed up late to watch it. Regretted it the next morning when I woke up at 7:30 and was still fucking tired. Because I'm lucky.
Yeah, that went so late with OT.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a long commute of about 45 feet from my bedroom to my living room, and I was still tired on the way to work.
Yep. Likewise. It was a football game.
It was fun. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was going to suck, but I actually enjoyed it.
I love every time. There's been so much overtime this season. It feels like. Is that just me? It feels like there's been a ton of overtime.
It does feel like there's been a ton of overtime. It also feels like at least 3 games should have been a tie. I don't know why, but I feel like there should be ties already this season. But yeah, it was a great game. 23-20. Seahawks lost. Steelers won. 23-20. Ben Roethlisberger 229 and a touch. Geno Smith coming in for the injured.
I just feel so bad for Geno, man.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for him. Played a solid game and then just like late. You know, the last game when he threw the pick, I don't think that was his fault. The receiver fell. But this time, you got to protect the football. And he has T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt's obviously a monster. He's, probably the best defensive player on that team. Just punches it out. And he fumbles for the Steelers to seal the win. Man, I just feel bad for him because other than that, he played a pretty solid game. They stuck to their game plan. They didn't have Chris Carson. Collins got hurt because of some of those punches that they were delivering to him. You saw that. They were just punching him in the stomach, missing the ball. I don't think it was like on purpose that they were hitting him in the stomach. They were just going for the ball and missing, but they apparently took some damage from that. They need to give him like a freaking Kevlar vest or something next time.
Yep.
But
DK being a bonehead
are so shaky that Seattle does not have an impressive defense. They've got Geno Smith instead of Russell Wilson on offense.
For the eighth straight